Dear brothers and sisters, today I want to remind myself and you of a powerful reality. Your salary does not define your rizq. Your habits do. Many people wake up every morning anxious. They worry about their paycheck, their job security, their promotions, and their future. They believe that if the salary increases, their problems will disappear. But experience teaches us something very different. There are people who earn very little, yet they live peacefully. Their needs are met, and their homes are filled with contentment. And there are others who earn a great deal, yet they are constantly stressed, dissatisfied, and fearful of loss. Why? Because rizq is not just money, it is peace, health, time, good relationships, and contentment. Rizq is from the one who created you. Long before you've applied for a job, your provision was written. Long before your contract was signed, your sustenance was known. No employer can withhold what is meant for you, and no salary can guarantee blessing without the right habits. Let us reflect on our daily habits. Do we wake up remembering our purpose or only chasing deadlines? Are we honest in our work even when no one is watching? Do we fulfill the rights of others, or do we cut corners for quick gain? Do we express gratitude for what we already have, or do we constantly complain? These habits matter more than we realize. When a person is truthful, trustworthy, and consistent, their work carries barakah. When a person lies, cheats, or neglects their responsibilities, even a large income becomes heavy and burdensome. What comes without integrity often leaves without warning. Another powerful habit is gratitude. Gratitude is not just words, it is shown by how we use what we have. When you are thankful, you take care of your blessings. And when blessings are respected, they grow. Then there is the habit of discipline in worship and character. Taking time to reconnect with your Creator, avoiding what is unlawful, being patient during hardship, these are not distractions from success. They are the foundations of true success. Remember this: provision does not always increase by working more hours. Sometimes it increases by becoming a better person. Change your habits, and you will see change in your life. Improve your character, and you will witness ease where there was difficulty. Seek lawful means, and you will find contentment even before wealth arrives. So do not let your salary define your worth, and do not let numbers determine your trust. Focus on building habits that invite blessing, honesty, gratitude, patience, effort, and reliance. Because in the end, your habits decide your rizq, not your salary. May we be among those who earn with integrity, live with contentment, and are grateful in every condition. Ameen. Rizq is not a concept limited to income statements, bank balances, or monthly paychecks. It is a reality that begins far beyond the office desk and extends far beyond financial figures. Rizq is divinely decreed, meaning it is assigned, measured, and delivered by the Creator with complete wisdom. An employer may sign your contract, but they do not sign your destiny. They may process your salary, but they do not control the doors that open or close in your life. When this understanding settles in the heart, it frees a person from unhealthy fear, constant anxiety, and the belief that survival depends solely on human systems. Many people mistakenly attach their sense of security to their job title or their employer. They believe that if the company collapses, their life collapses. If their salary is delayed, their provision is delayed. This mindset quietly shifts trust away from the one who provides and places it into temporary structures created by people. History and daily experience repeatedly show that businesses shut down, economies fluctuate, and positions disappear, yet people continue to be sustained through paths they never imagined. This is because rizq is not tied to one source. The one who provides is not limited by a single channel. Rizq also extends beyond money. It includes health that allows you to work, intelligence that allows you to learn, opportunities that allow you to grow, and peace that allows you to rest. A person earning a large salary but living with constant fear, broken relationships, and declining health is not experiencing abundance. Numbers appear impressive. Meanwhile, someone with a modest income but stable health, supportive family, and emotional peace may be far richer in the true sense of provision. When salary is mistaken for rizq, people chase numbers while neglecting the wider blessings already present in their lives. Understanding that rizq is divinely decreed does not mean abandoning effort or responsibility. It means recognizing that effort is a means, not the source. You are commanded to strive, but you are not responsible for the outcome. This balance protects a person from arrogance when success comes and from despair when hardship arrives. When people believe their intelligence, connections, or hard work alone brought them wealth, pride quietly enters the heart. But when they understand that provision was written and granted, humility replaces arrogance and gratitude replaces entitlement. Another important dimension of this keynote is that divine decree operates with wisdom, not randomness. Rizq is distributed according to what suits a person's growth, character, and long-term well-being. What appears as a delay may actually be protection. What appears as a loss may actually be redirection. Many individuals look back later in life and realize that a job they desperately wanted would have destroyed their balance, values, or family. At the time, it felt like deprivation. With clarity, it reveals itself as mercy. When salary is treated as the ultimate source of provision, fear dominates decisions. People remain in toxic environments, compromise their values, or accept injustice simply because they believe leaving will cut off their sustenance. However, when one believes that rizq is guaranteed by the Creator, courage enters the heart. A person can walk away from what is harmful, refuse what is unethical, and wait patiently for what is better, knowing that provision cannot be stolen by anyone. Okay? This belief also reshapes how people view others. Envy decreases when you understand that no one has taken what was meant for you. Someone else's promotion, success, or wealth does not get your share. Someone else's promotion, success, or wealth does not reduce your share. Each person receives according to a unique decree. When this truth is internalized, competition becomes healthy, not toxic. Effort continues, but resentment fades. Rizq being divinely decreed also teaches acceptance without passivity. Acceptance does not mean doing nothing. It means doing your best while trusting the outcome. A farmer plants seeds, waters them, and protects the crops, but growth itself is not in his hands. Similarly, a person applies, works, learns, and improves, but the final result comes from beyond their control. This understanding builds emotional stability. One no longer collapses under rejection or becomes obsessed with control. Yeah. This keynote reminds us that provision reaches a person in ways that defy logic. A chance meeting, an unexpected skill, a delayed payment turning into a better opportunity, or help arriving at the exact moment of need, these are all manifestations of rizq that no employer planned him. When people limit provision to salary, they fail to recognize these subtle yet powerful forms of sustenance that carry far more impact than money alone. When trust is placed in the one who provides, rather than the tools through which provision comes, life becomes lighter. Fear reduces, effort becomes sincere, and patience becomes possible. Salary becomes a means, not a master, and rizq is understood as a comprehensive gift that arrives exactly as it was written, at exactly the right time. Habits are silent forces that shape the quality of a person's life long before results appear on the surface. Barakah, or blessing, is not something random that enters wealth by chance. It is attracted or removed by consistent patterns of behavior. Two individuals may earn the same amount, yet one finds ease, growth, and stability, while the other experiences constant loss, stress, and dissatisfaction. The difference often lies not in income, but in habits that either invite blessing or push it away. One of the strongest habits that attracts barakah is honesty. Honesty in speech, in transactions, and in effort creates trust, and trust opens doors that money alone cannot. When a person is truthful, even mistakes are forgiven more easily, and even small opportunities expand. On the other hand, dishonesty may bring quick gains, but it quietly removes peace and sustainability. Money earned through lies or deception rarely stays. It either disappears through unexpected expenses or becomes a source of constant anxiety. Barakah thrives where integrity exists. Okay? Another habit that deeply affects rizq is how a person treats their responsibilities. Being punctual, fulfilling promises, and giving full effort, even when supervision is absent, builds unseen value into one's work. Neglect, laziness, and carelessness, however, drain blessing. A person who consistently cuts corners may still receive payment, but the results of that income often feel heavy. Expenses increase, satisfaction decreases, and stability becomes fragile. Habits of responsibility align a person's effort with outcomes that carry lasting benefit. Gratitude is a habit that multiplies what is already present. It is not limited to verbal appreciation. It is demonstrated through contentment, proper use of resources, and acknowledgement of blessings. When someone constantly complains despite having enough, dissatisfaction becomes their default state, and nothing feels sufficient. This mindset blocks Barakah. In contrast, a grateful person recognizes even small provisions as valuable. This awareness fosters care, patience, and optimism, allowing blessings to grow naturally. Gratitude changes how wealth behaves in a person's hands. Another crucial habit is restraint from what is unethical or unlawful. A person may justify questionable actions by claiming necessity or pressure, but such habits often remove blessing more quickly than they provide relief. Even when income increases through impermissible means, peace decreases, relationships suffer, trust erodes, and inner stability weakens. Restraint, though difficult, protects barakah. Choosing what is right over what is easy preserves dignity and ensures that provision remains a source of benefit rather than regret. Time management is another overlooked habit that directly affects rizq. Time is a form of provision, and how it is used determines the quality of outcomes. Those who waste time consistently often feel rushed, stressed, and behind, regardless of income. Those who respect time, plan their efforts, and avoid unnecessary distractions tend to experience more productivity with less exhaustion. Barakah in time allows a person to accomplish more without feeling overwhelmed. Poor habits with time drain energy and create the illusion of scarcity. The habit of generosity also plays a powerful role in attracting blessing. Giving does not reduce wealth. In reality, it refines it. When a person shares sincerely, without arrogance or expectation, they release attachment to numbers and strengthen trust. This habit cleanses wealth from selfishness and opens pathways of unexpected ease. Stinginess, on the other hand, creates fear of loss, even when abundance exists. That fear itself removes barakah, making wealth feel insufficient, no matter how much increases. Equally important is the habit of patience during difficulty. Impatience often pushes people toward poor decisions, shortcuts, or compromises that later cause damage. Patience preserves clarity. A patient person waits for growth rather than forcing outcomes. They understand that barakah develops gradually and that sudden expansion without grounding can be harmful. Patience keeps a person aligned with sustainable progress instead of temporary relief. Habits also influence rizq through how a person treats others. Kindness, fairness, and empathy build goodwill that returns in countless ways. Harshness, exploitation, or arrogance may not show immediate consequences, but they slowly isolate a person and close doors. Human relationships are a major channel through which provision flows. When those relationships are nurtured through good habits, opportunities increase naturally. Barakah does not announce itself loudly. It is noticed in sufficiency, calm, and continuity. Habits determine whether wealth carries ease or burden, growth or loss. Income may arrive through effort, but barakah arrives through character. When habits align with discipline, integrity, gratitude, and restraint, provision gains depth. When habits are careless, selfish, or unethical, even abundance feels empty. Kahidal effort is not measured by how large the income is, but by how clean the path is that leads to it. Many people equate success with numbers, assuming that a higher income automatically means a better life. In reality, the quality of earning has a far deeper impact on peace, stability, and long-term well-being than the quantity itself. A small income earned through lawful, ethical means often carries more sufficiency and calm than a large income mixed with compromise, injustice, or deception. When effort is halal, it aligns a person's conscience with their actions. This alignment creates inner peace, something no amount of money can purchase. A person who earns lawfully sleeps without fear, speaks without hesitation, and lives without constantly looking over their shoulder. Their heart is not burdened by guilt or anxiety. In contrast, wealth earned through questionable means often brings restlessness. Even when material comfort exists, the mind remains unsettled, always worried about exposure, loss, or consequences. Halal effort also builds trust in society. When people transact honestly, fulfill contracts, and avoid exploitation, their reputation becomes a form of wealth. Trust opens doors that money alone cannot. People recommend them, support them, and choose to work with them again. This creates stability that is not dependent on one job or one source of income. Unethical gain may provide short-term profit, but it damages reputation, and once trust is broken, rebuilding it becomes far more difficult than earning money. Another important dimension of lawful earning is that it brings clarity in decision-making. When a person refuses to cross ethical boundaries, their choices become simpler. They are not constantly calculating how to justify their actions or hide their methods. This clarity saves mental energy and reduces stress. Those who chase high income at any cost often live in complexity, juggling lies, explanations, and rationalizations. Over time, this complexity drains emotional and psychological strength. A small halal income also encourages discipline and gratitude. And when resources are limited but clean, people learn to manage wisely, prioritize needs, and appreciate what they have. This builds resilience. They become less wasteful and more thoughtful in their spending. Large incomes without discipline often lead to excess, dependency, and dissatisfaction. The absence of limits can weaken appreciation and inflate desires, making contentment difficult even with abundance. Halal effort protects relationships. Wealth earned through injustice often harms others, whether through exploitation, dishonesty, or neglect of rights. Such harm eventually reflects back into a person's life through broken relationships, resentment, or isolation. Lawful earning, even if modest, maintains dignity and fairness. Families are supported without guilt, children are raised with clear values, and relationships are not built on the suffering of others. This moral consistency strengthens the social fabric around a person. Another aspect often overlooked is how lawful effort affects personal growth. When income is earned ethically, it develops patience, perseverance, and humility. These qualities are essential for long-term success. Unlawful shortcuts may accelerate financial gain, but they stunt character development. A person who relies on shortcuts struggles when challenges arise that require resilience and moral strength. Halal effort prepares a person for sustainability, not just success. High income does not guarantee freedom. In many cases, it creates new pressures, expectations, and fears. People become trapped maintaining a lifestyle that requires constant compromise. A modest halal income offers freedom of conscience. Decisions are made based on values rather than fear of loss. This freedom allows a person to walk away from harmful environments, refuse unethical demands, and protect their principles without feeling threatened. Halal earning also invites unseen support. When a person strives within ethical boundaries, assistance comes in subtle ways, reduced expenses, timely help, supportive people, and unexpected ease. These forms of support often compensate for what seems lacking in income. On the other hand, wealth earned unlawfully may attract constant obstacles, losses, or crises that consume what was gained. Ultimately, success is not defined by how much enters your hands, but by what remains beneficial in your life. A small, lawful income that brings peace, stability, and dignity is far superior to a large income that brings fear, complexity, and moral compromise. Halal effort ensures that earning becomes a source of growth rather than burden, and that provision serves life instead of controlling it. Spiritual discipline is often misunderstood as something separate from worldly progress, when in reality it shapes how a person experiences every aspect of life. The habits of the heart and soul influence focus, patience, decision-making, and resilience, all of which directly affect stability and growth in the material world. When spiritual discipline is neglected, even strong skills and opportunities can lose direction. When it is maintained, effort gains clarity and outcomes gain balance. Consistency in prayer and reflection trains the mind to pause, prioritize, and reconnect with purpose. This habit creates inner order. A person who regularly steps away from noise to realign with higher values develops calm judgment. This calmness translates into better choices at work, healthier responses to stress, and the ability to navigate pressure without panic. Without this discipline, people often react impulsively, driven by fear or ego, leading to decisions that undermine long-term stability. Spiritual discipline also strengthens patience, a quality essential for sustained success. Many setbacks in life are temporary, but impatience turns them into permanent damage. A spiritually disciplined person understands that growth unfolds in stages. They are less likely to abandon effort prematurely or make desperate moves when progress seems slow. This patience protects them from poor investments, harmful partnerships, and rushed career decisions that can cost far more than time. Another powerful effect of spiritual consistency is emotional regulation. Regular remembrance and self-accountability soften the heart and reduce emotional extremes. This balance helps a person remain steady during both success and hardship. When success comes, humility prevents recklessness. When hardship arrives, hope prevents despair. Emotional stability is a form of strength that allows a person to continue functioning effectively even under pressure, preserving both productivity and mental health. Spiritual discipline also cultivates accountability beyond external supervision. A person who is conscious of a higher presence acts with integrity even when no one is watching. This inner accountability shapes work ethic, honesty, and reliability. Such individuals become dependable, and dependability attracts trust. Trust leads to responsibility. Responsibility leads to opportunity, and opportunity leads to growth. These outcomes may appear purely professional, but they are rooted in spiritual consistency. Another important dimension is how spiritual habits shape perspective on loss and gain. A disciplined individual understands that setbacks are not always signs of failure, but often moments of redirection or learning. This perspective prevents bitterness and resentment. Instead of being consumed by comparison or envy, they focus on improvement and purpose. This mindset conserves emotional energy and keeps attention directed toward meaningful progress rather than distraction. Spiritual discipline also influences how a person treats others, especially during stress. Kindness, restraint, and fairness become default responses rather than forced behaviors. In professional and personal environments, this creates healthy relationships. People feel safe, respected, and valued, which strengthens collaboration and support networks. Since opportunities often come through people, good character sustained by spiritual discipline becomes a practical asset in life. Another outcome of spiritual consistency is clarity in defining success. When values are clear, goals become aligned. A person no longer chases everything, but chooses what fits their purpose and capacity. This selectiveness reduces burnout and prevents wasted effort. Instead of being scattered across endless pursuits, energy is focused, making progress more effective and sustainable. Spiritual discipline also builds resilience against fear of the future. Trust developed through consistent inner practice reduces anxiety about uncertainty. A person continues to plan and work, but without obsession or panic. This calm trust allows them to adapt when circumstances change, rather than collapsing under unpredictability. Adaptability is a critical skill in a world where stability is never guaranteed. Over time, spiritual discipline shapes identity. A person becomes grounded, principled, and internally strong. This strength reflects outwardly in work quality, leadership, and consistency. Success achieved through such grounding is not fragile. It does not disappear at the first sign of difficulty. It grows steadily, supported by inner clarity and ethical strength. Worldly outcomes are often treated as separate from spiritual life, but they are deeply connected. The discipline that strengthens the soul also strengthens focus, patience, and integrity. When spiritual habits are maintained consistently, they quietly shape a life of balance, resilience, and sustainable growth, influencing provision not through force, but through alignment